Hey guys, I just wanted to make a video on how to replace the steering box on the F20, F22, F23 series of cars. Because when I was trying to do this myself, I couldn't find anything except for a bunch of videos on how to do this on an F30. And it's just a little bit different, so I'm not going to go too in depth here because there are a lot of videos out there for the F30, but I just wanted to show you the placement of where the steering box is on the F22s and how to best access it. So if you do have this issue, you'll probably notice as you're driving along, you hit a bump, you hear a loud clunking noise coming from underneath the car, especially if your windows are down. That can be a couple different things, obviously. The easy way to diagnose this as a steering box issue, which is pretty common, especially as you get up in miles on these type of cars, is you turn the car off, but you have the ignition on, and with the windows down, just rock the wheel back and forth. Some noise is normal. If you're hearing a loud clunk, 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 the same noise that you hear as you're driving along, 99.9% of the time, it's an issue with your steering box. Fortunately, this is a fairly simple and inexpensive fix. You're only going to need two things as far as parts. One is the steering box repair kit. You can go OEM or you can go eBay, Amazon, whatever. Same thing with grease. You can buy BMW grease or you can buy regular grease. Every time I roll the dice on this stuff, I get burned. So I went with OEM, but do you? And this is the equipment that you'll need. So you'll need a jack, either jack stands or jack lock, the little puck to make sure you don't break your jack point, and then also a tire iron or a breaker bar or an impact, whatever you need to get the tire off. You're also going to need a socket set, definitely an 8 millimeter, probably a 10, 17 you'll need to get your wheel off. Um, Also, Torx bits. You might encounter a couple of Torx plastic nuts when you're trying to get different trim pieces off, depending on how you approach this. The most important pieces of equipment that you'll need that you probably don't have are the 3-pin tool, which you're going to need to remove the cap or lid off of the steering box. And then you're going to need a wrench or a spanner or something that's going to fit onto that 3-pin tool. So you're going to want to pay very close attention when you're purchasing your kit and seeing if it comes with a 3-pin tool or not. The eBay, Amazon, whatever kits typically do, the OEM definitely do not. Don't buy the OEM 3-pin tool for I don't know how much it costs. Just go on eBay or whatever. You can get a 3-pin tool for like $15, I think. But then once you purchase that 3-pin tool, get a wrench or spanner that fits that tool because you cannot get a socket in there. Ask me how I know. You will also need a pick tool in order to get the spring and the bottom plastic piece out of the steering box. So this is the driver's side, and all I did so far was jack the car up and take the wheel off. And the part that we are trying to get to is right there. That right. So to make your life easier, you can just drop the liner. It's just a whole bunch of 8 mil bolts. So I undid, there's a bunch of 8 millimeter screws tying the whatever under shield to the bottom. I just undid a bunch of them off this front driver's side corner. You don't have to undo all of them. You can just do this side and just let it dangle. And then you're just gonna take your, you can't really see it. You're gonna take your tool, you're gonna put it right on the steering box. So here you can clearly see why I suggested having a low profile spanner that fits your 3-pin tool on hand. Or you can do what I did, which is just mess around with different socket combinations and bust your knuckles for 3 hours. But I don't recommend that. In this clip, you can see me reaching from underneath. It's not just that the space is tight, it's that the steering box is kind of angled up almost at a 45-degree angle. So you have to manage to get the tool on there. So this is how the assembly, this is the old assembly, this is how it sits in the car. You need your 3-pin tool, obviously, to unscrew this, and this comes right off. All the replacement parts are exactly the same, except depending on the kit you get, this piece may be actually black instead of white, but everything else is the same. And I would use all the new components, so all this old stuff goes in the trash. It's assembled exactly the same way, where this like little rubber bung is inserted from the outside. If it's not already in there, just make sure to grease that up. Same thing with the spring, you're going to want to grease that up. But basically, this is how it all fits together. It's pretty self-explanatory. And what happens is these surfaces tend to wear down, which leads to a little bit of wiggle room, and that's where you get that play. And that's why when you rattle the wheel, you'll hear a noise, and when the wheels are moving as you're driving along, you'll also hear that noise. Whenever you hit a bump, you'll hear a loud clanking or clunking noise, but it's easily rectified. Just make sure that you put the new one back in the same orientation, grease up the spring, line that up, and then torque it flush. Again, using your 3-pin tool.